theory. Except where the syrup's stored. That's not a secret. It all got stolen once. That's a fucked up. That's my favorite thing about Canada. That not only that we have a Fort Knox for maple syrup, that it got robbed at one time. It was like the biggest heist in Canadian history. It was not money. It was syrup. So yeah, that's very cool. It's very weird that people are spying on Canada and tampering with our elections. I don't know what you're going to do. Like, basically from China, I could see that being a threat. Just because the way they can influence business decisions. So they're going to try to influence our elections to go that way. But really, what do you how much? Half the fucking country's Chinese. You don't need to do a lot of spying to figure out you're going to win the elections. I just think it's interesting that we're big enough for that to happen. Because we're not. And as a very political guy on a very political show, I think it's a losing battle. You're not gonna win anything in Canada. There's nothing to win. Especially on this upcoming election, because fuck, Peter MacKay's already looking like a knob, and we're 4 years away from election. He's like, Peter MacKay's already putting out shit about, Justin Trudeau spent $800 on yoga last year. Who gives a fuck?
You know what's funny is, I mean, you talk about that, but yet what I don't understand is why it's not a massive deal over the fact that Trudeau's handed over $50 million to fucking MasterCard to develop a cybersecurity center in Vancouver.
That's
$50 million.
Yeah.
So they can set up a thing in Vancouver. Meanwhile, they made 16 point something billion dollars in profit last year.
And really, what cybersecurity? Like $50 million. I don't think collectively all the credit card holders in Canada don't have $50 million.
Definitely not in Canada, that's for sure.
Like, I get that we're like really open to hackers here because we're stupid, but there's not like 50. What is $50 million going to? You got 50 fucking Omar Cotters working there? Oh.
I just don't. Who gives a credit card company? What government gives a credit card company fucking money to build something? Like, this is...
Without at least a ridiculous application to fill out. Like, I would have, if MasterCard came to me for money, I would have been like, all right, you got this dictionary application to fucking fill out. I want your credit history going back to the fucking Flintstones. And then you're going to have to wait by your mailbox for like 6 months. And our interest rate is going to be fucking astronomical.
And then, by the way, once we get all this information and 6 months later, we're going to send you a notice saying you forgot to put a period somewhere. We got to refill the whole thing out and start over.
Oh, yeah, we're not telling you where it is either.
No, exactly. Somewhere on it, there's a mistake.
There is a lowercase t that has not been crossed. Please fix this and resend it in your own envelope with your own stamp.
Like, I just don't understand. Like,
it's
like they're literally saying that this is going to make Canada a world leader in cybersecurity. We're the ones. You don't go from the most vulnerable to the leader with $50 million.
No, you don't. And we're not going to be a leader in cybersecurity. No. We're barely a leader in cyber anything. Although we did just pass a new code of conduct for tech companies. The big the internet providers. I'm not going to get into it a lot today because I don't have a lot with me of the information of the nuts and bolts of it. But it's just basically it's an anti-monopoly thing, but interesting. But we're not anywhere near being a tech leader, and we won't be because we don't have enough people to make our grid even worth protecting that much.
Yeah,
and there's nothing.
The thing is
what are we securing? I wasn't joking about the spies.
You're securing MasterCard. You're securing MasterCard. You're not securing the country. You're not changing the security of the whole country. You're securing MasterCard. Like,
nobody even accepts fucking MasterCard.
Visa anyway. Yeah, everybody uses Visa
right?
Anyway.
I don't know where his head is at. Like, he's obviously not listening to Beard.
No.
These are the kind of decisions Justin makes when he doesn't talk to the Beard first. You have to ask the Beard before you invest in things. He will set you straight. I'm losing faith in the Beard.
Maybe the Beard is only good for literally the facial thing where it makes him look serious instead of always looking that goofy fucking smile he always has.
I assumed the Beard had magical powers.
Yeah, wow.
I'm starting to feel very let down by the Beard. Because the Beard wouldn't do that to me. I'm going to grow my own beard to fight Justin's beard.
Well, I've been growing razors. That's insane.
So yeah, maybe these 6 countries, we better start watching them closely because they're going to go after MasterCard because that's all we got. So these spies, maybe CSIS can, they'll have their hands tied protecting MasterCard. And Harry and Meghan.
As long as it doesn't turn Meghan Harry, then we'll be fine.
It's true.
Different thing to say. I have some other Canadian news, by the way. I
do, but go ahead. Hey, everybody, write in or call or something now. 65990.
Help us along.
Oh, weird. I don't know what just happened there.
What happened?
I don't know. Something weird.
In Eskasoni, Nova Scotia, by Cape Breton.
Eskasoni. I don't know. I just made that up, but I'm sure it's not Eskasoni.
It's a First Nation. There's a school in this. It's a First Nation school that has houses schooling for, I think it's grades 1 to 4 or 1 to 5, and they had a company that catered for this big lunch thing that they were having, and a bunch of the kids had gone home and were not feeling very well and weren't acting themselves. So a couple of the parents ended up taking their kid to the hospital, wondering what the fuck was wrong. They were all pale. One was just saying that she was super tired and her eyes were hurting. So they took her to the hospital, and they got tested and found out that they had THC in their system. They ate laced cake.
I did read that. By
the school.
That is, in my opinion, just fucking fantastic.
I love the one saying, "My kids are usually hyper. My older daughter was just sitting there staring around."
Yeah, that's what happens to me.
My favorite thing was reading this one or hearing about this. I first heard about it on the radio. Was the parents' reactions, because it just shows how dumb they are. I thought my kid was going to have a heart attack, and I thought, no, man, that doesn't happen. There's never been a recorded case of somebody having a heart attack from eating an edible. They might think they will, but they don't actually have one. It just doesn't work like that. But the big thing is that none of the parents were informed, even though the school was notified. No parent got notified by the school. They found out from other parents.
Really?
That happened, yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, they all found out about a few days later. The whole thing.
I didn't realize that. That's frightening. I don't like that very much at all. In my opinion, it was only a matter of time before this happens. It's going to happen a lot. Your kids are gonna get into your pot. Be careful with it.
But the funny thing is, like I said, though, this actually came from a catering company. So they're investigating the catering company to find out if it was a mistake or if it was malicious. Because it was molasses laced is what it was, the molasses. So either they mixed it up, but then what's a catering company that supplies food for children? Why do they have THC stuff sitting close by when you have the same food for children?
Maybe they supply for adults too. It's just a thing. You get if you got a fucking shop now where you supply gluten-free shit, but you accidentally give the gluten-free shit to the gluten dude. It's gonna happen. It's just the way it is now. It's a new world where we make pot brownies, and sometimes the wrong brownies are gonna go to the wrong customer. It happens all the fucking time, and it's gonna happen with pot now. It's stupid, but maybe you order the gluten-free crust and they accidentally give you the one with the gluten. It's no fucking different.
Yeah, it's true.
It just happened to be pot in this situation, and there's still a bunch of anti-pot people who are going to make it a big deal. It's not a big deal. Your kids are going to have much worse in a couple of years. Don't fucking worry about it. It sucks. It's stupid, and people have, I'm not catering companies. You got to smarten your shit up. If you're a pot company, fucking figure it out. Don't be smoking pot while you're making it, but mitigate your damages.
But yeah, I still can't believe that the school didn't say it didn't release anything. That's insane.
I'm hearing this so much from vaccine incidents to lunch incidents to incidents of violence. Schools are not reporting to the parents, and that's your one fucking thing to do.
Yep.
Your job is to report to the parents. But this is happening. Remember, we did a story. I don't remember which is about fighting at school and how the fighting is not getting reported. Because then it makes the school look bad or whatever. This schools, you gotta fucking start. You're not making yourselves look any better when you're striking. I tell you, with this kind of shit, you're not reporting stuff. You're just come on. What are you doing? And these teachers being shitty about the lunch program and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not helping the school situation. The school's already pretty much fucking obsolete. So you guys want to start doing better, not worse, because basically you can be replaced by the internet anytime now. We don't need you anymore.
That's right.
We need 8-hour break from our kids, so we send them to you, and then we get a break. That's really, you're just a fucking glorified daycare now. You teach nothing. The curriculum sucks anyway. It doesn't teach anything worthwhile. And now you're not even babysitting properly. So what the fuck good are you?
Might as well just leave it with a 12-year-old fucking babysitter and wonder why things have gone wrong.
Hey, fuck! Get the seniors to be in charge, and everyone from grade 8 to 11 or whatever, 10 to 11, whatever if you have high school or middle school or whatever in your area. For me, we went from 8 to 12 in the same school. Some places, like I know Manitoba, you go 8 and 9, and then you do 10 to 12 in high school. Either way,
we've got 3 different ones.
Yeah, you've got 3 different. I think almost everywhere in BC does. BC just has the 2. But fucking get the senior kids to be the teachers, and they can teach the kids everything they just learned. It's still fresh in their minds. They can teach the grade 8s what they just fucking learned in grade 8. That's no big deal. We don't need a fucking teacher to come do it.
No.
And then that could be your extra credit for whatever. That's your work experience. And they get the grade 10s to fucking sweep at lunch. Boom. There goes your custodial budget. I just saved you millions. Get rid of it.
Which is funny because these kids nowadays can't even know how to pick up fucking work a broom, so it doesn't matter.
Right? All the more reason to put them to work at lunchtime. Fuck, half of them are going to graduate and go into being janitors anyway.
No, they'll just stay not working and just stay at home and wonder why they can't get a job because they're saving up for management.
Yeah, they're saving. I'm holding out for management, except for the ones that are like, McDonald's is the best employer in the country. I fucking hate people who work at McDonald's. No, it's not. Yeah, they treated you good. Shut up. McDonald's or McJones.